Hi, Ian here. Today I want to talk about topping the ball. It's a common fault with a lot of golfers, and there's quite a simple exercise and a simple logical way of looking at this to try to help you stop or prevent yourself from topping the golf ball. As ever, if you feel like you're getting some value from the efforts that I'm putting in here with the content that I provide, then a like, a subscribe or a share would be really appreciated. So the number one reason for topping the ball is when the club head itself is coming on an upward path through the ball. There's some effort by the golfer to look at the ball and feel like they've got to help the ball up into the air, and this promotes an upward type of action to complement what it is they've been sort of premeditated, or what is premeditated prior to them actually hitting the ball. So remember, when you're topping the ball, this thing must be traveling in an upward path. And all that will happen as the club is traveling upwards here in some manner, whether it's like this or this, there's an upward motion of the actual club itself, and you end up getting the ball trapped underneath the base of the club. Yes, you can say, well, what about this in the swing or that in the swing? That's probably 5% of the reason. This is 95% of the reason why people top the ball. And the key to preventing topping and learning to hit the ball correctly is to understand how the club travels downwards into the ball and through. Now, here's a little bit of a fun test for you, something that you can try. You can leave me a comment on this if you like. But if we abide by 3 simple rules, the first one, pretty obvious, we want to use the club face to contact the ball. Second one, we're going to hold the club with 2 hands. And the third one, we're going to keep our head still or pretty still. Those are the only 3 rules you need to try to apply the hitting of the ball correctly. And then I want you to try to hit the ball down as much as you physically can, abiding by those 3 rules. So let's have a little bit of fun here. So in this instance, I'm going to try and hit the ball down, but I'm going to cheat. I'm not going to use rule 1. I'm going to use the bottom of the club. So I could squish that ball down using the bottom of the club or even the back of the club, but obviously that's cheating because rules are to use the club face. So now if I want to use the club face to hit the ball down, I would have to sort of be in this type of position to actually achieve that. Well, I'm not going to be in that position, because if I abide by the rules, I've got to keep my head still after taking my setup position. So now I can't get down into that position. But how close could I get to that position? I've got to use the club face, 2 hands. So the closest I could get would be maybe here. I think I can do it a bit more. Can I get even closer without moving my head? Yeah, I can squeeze this position out of my physical capability there. Hopefully you can see where I'm going with this. The art of hitting the ball is for the club to travel down. If you're topping the ball, the club will be traveling on an upward path. You know, I see people trying to explain this or defy this, and that they're in this sort of position but I've moved my head. Not only that way, but I've dropped my head. So I've cheated. You can only hit the ball fantastic if you do this. It is going to help your game so much. I promise you. You've got to have faith in it. You've got to trust it. And it's got to make some sense to you. Hopefully what I've demonstrated to you here is so logical that you can't argue with it. I can't hit the ball down on those 3 rules. Nobody can. Nobody can hit the ball down based on those 3 rules. It is impossible. So look, go and have a bit of fun with it. Try and figure it out. Don't think swing. This is nothing to do with swing technique. These positions that I'm getting into are to facilitate what it is I'm trying to do. I wouldn't be in that position if I was trying to lift the ball up, because it just doesn't marry together. So go and try those 3 rules. Get your divot. Persevere. If you don't hit the ball great, then you're breaking one of those rules, or all 3 of them. So anyway, leave me a comment. Let me know how you get on with this. And as ever, please like, subscribe, share and all of that stuff. And until next time, thanks very much for watching.